Emerging from a year of Melbourne lockdowns, it was time for an adventure. We had 14 days. 14 days to build a palace on wheels, to rest, to cook, to dream, and to get out on the open road. Join us as we embark on this epic journey together. Hey guys, it's day 2 and we're putting the solar panel on the roof. So what I've done here is I've found some flexible plastic that I'm using to insulate the solar panel, which is a flexi panel, which I love because it stays stealth. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply attach this to the plastic, and this plastic is the thing I'm going to properly glue on the roof. And that means it won't fly off, but it also means I can service and replace the solar panel. Here we are. So we have here Jeff McDougall, who was an original van lifer back in the 70s.
The 60s.
Tell us about your trip.
Oh, my trip lasted for 12 months. Went up the east coast, all along the coast to Sydney, Brisbane, lots of places, but one called Whoopi.
Trying to figure out a 12-volt electrical system right now.
Towns, Cairns, Mount Isa to Darwin. Left the dog in with friends.
Here's a negative wire just to help me colour code. I've got different kinds of electrical tapes to colour code. A marker, because I'll forget what I've wired to what. And a 12-volt rocker switch, which I could only find 3, but I want 5. So I have to go to Bunnings later on, see if they got more.
Where was it? Singapore, Java, Bali, Jakarta, Malaysia.
Don't follow what I'm doing, but this is what I've got. Some wire. It's 4mm, so 1.85 square millimeters squared. It's just for like all the LED lights, the vent fan, water pump, that kind of thing.
And then flew back to Darwin.
So he's seen it all, and as we can hear here, it's a hive of activity right now. Yeah. But Jeff is a master carpenter back in the day, and he's teaching me the tips and tricks for how to get this van build happening.
Well, there you go.
So there we go.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Just there.
I need to put the wire all the way to the top.
Why?
No, do I?
No, that's it. Because once you crimp it, that whole thing is alive.
Oh, yeah, okay. It's just a 12-volt on-off switch.
That tells
Giving
you
it a go.
Well, I'm celebrating a moment of victory here. I have put up all the supports in this van, and now we are ready to do some pre-wiring. We're going to do some insulation, and then we are cladding.
Do you want the 4 switches up here?
Yeah, 4 switches here.
Where it says 4th switch.
Yeah.
This is my cheat sheet. Black equals vent fan.
And how do you remember which one's positive and negative?
Positive.
Ah, you've got coloured wires.
Negative will be black.
Genius. So today is the day where we're finally putting in the foam board installation. Basically, I'm cutting out these foam boards over here using just a Stanley knife. It makes a bit of a mess on the floor, so don't tell Mum. because I'm at her place putting on this Sikaflex spray foam adhesive. Now I had a look and it says it causes cancer, so I'm being pretty careful and I'm using the right protective gear. Now you'll notice that I've put a few clamps up and I'm realizing these are enough just to hold it in place. I've seen some people create big sticks just to push it in, but it dries pretty quickly and it's pretty light stuff, so this works fine.
So I went to Bunnings and the kid there was just like, oh, I'm so sorry. We've only got the 3mm cable, but it came up as 4mm on our system.
I remember watching videos of people talking about how hard this is. It's so easy. Unless you're spatially incompetent, I think you can figure this out.
Searched all of Adelaide. Anyway, there's 2 rolls, like shorter rolls than I would have liked, 2 10-meter rolls that were on the shelf, and we'll see how far that goes. Hopefully I can finish the job with an extra 20 meters.
You know how I was just paying out on those who are spatially incompetent? Well, I put the foil on the inside again, so here we are. So it's 38 degrees Celsius and I'm gonna have to wear a rain jacket and we've got to cover up because we're putting on the wall glass insulation. And the wall glass, of course, has tiny glass shards, so it gets under your skin, so it's better.
We've got the earth wall, the ceiling insulation, it's R6, which means that it's super good at insulating. And we're just stuffing it into anywhere where there may be heat or cooling coming through to make sure everything is patched up and ready to go. So stuffing the wall in the crevice like this. Just putting conduit on around the wires.
Yep.
Now that I've mapped all the wires out, tidies it up.
It's a lot of cables when you look at that.
It's a lot of cables. Yeah, let's hope it works.
8 p.m, working into the evening.
And it's still light, so it's not bad.
Yeah, that's good. You're doing well. So it seems to me a key skill for van building is watching YouTube. And YouTube has taught me that you need lots of ventilation in your van. I've bought these $15 vents, super cheap on Amazon, and I'm just putting in some holes on the sides so there's a bit of cross flow, and what that means is that air's going to be able to get through here and up to this max air vent fan. Van regrets. Don't get black silicone for a white van. It's stupid. I'm just making a big mess and I can't hide it.
Welcome to our van. The insulation is all done now and we have packed everything with the earth wool and the insulation boards, and hopefully it all stays in place.
Now the cladding, what we're going to do is actually make some templates using paper. I'm going to stick up the paper, I'm going to try cut the paper to the size that we're after, and I'll use that as a stencil to do our cladding. So I'm trying to figure out the size of the timber to go in here, and it is difficult. If you can think of a better way to do this, make sure you put comments in the comment section below.
I don't know if it's going to work until it's all hooked up.
What's happening?
It works!
Show us.
Here's the switch.
Switch.
And I don't know which way I've wired it, but I'll figure that out.
And what's that gonna do?
Turn this on.
Do it. Woo!
Yes!
That's so exciting. You want to tell the camera what you're doing there, Jeff?
Oh, mucking around.
What are you mucking around with?
White goo.
White goo.
Yeah.
There we are.
When you're cutting in, and there's a little bump on it, that means it's just a bit of harder paint. Just scratch it off.
So it's painting time.
It's painting time.
And we have the OG van lifer back, Jeff McDougall, who's doing his work.
The old fella.
The old fella.
The old fella.
He's old, but he's good. He's experienced. So we found this beautiful hand basin at a garage sale, but it's too big. And what I've decided is, instead of using this hand basin, which does look lovely, but it takes up all the bench space, I'm going to create some kind of basin using just a metal bowl. This is my mum's, so I'm gonna have to go to a $2 shop. This little fella's Gareth. He's a young huntsman, and he's gonna be one of our first pets in this van build. Very excited to meet you, Gareth. Okay, so we've done our base coat, and now we're going to paint Interno Lime Wash by Porter's Paint. Now this really is just going to add more texture to the walls and give a bit of a stony effect. We're almost wanting a bit of a Mediterranean vibe. So let's see how we go. Nicola, what's happened?
We picked a 90s colour scheme by accident. It just turned 8 again. It's actually the colour scheme of my 8-year-old bedroom. Except mine had chickens on the wall. Ah! It's pretty much the colour we got.
Okay, so we've struck some success. I've just mixed a bit of my mum's house paint with the white paint we normally use, and it gives this nice stony effect. So I'm pretty happy with that. We're gonna go ahead and paint these walls again. So we're back. I'm making a basin out of a $6 bowl. It worked. Okay, so we have a fridge. Okay, so we have a sink. I've connected it over there. Plan is, I'm going to connect that up to this hole that I've drilled under here using a pipe. I bought this pipe, and basically I have managed to get 3 different types of connections that then push it down to a little hose. And that little hose, I'm going to drill that hole big enough to fit that hose, and that will be our wastewater.
Just connecting the water pump to the main wiring. Hopefully it works and we can see everything come to life.
Dealing with electricity and water, what could go wrong?
Oh, especially when it's a hack job. You're just using electrical tape.
Now she says that, but look at all those fancy connectors in there. That's not just electrical tape. That's proper wiring.
Yeah, I'm a bit nervous.
Okay, so we have water under there. We've plugged everything up. Come look at this pipe. There is a pipe that goes all the way down to underneath the van. and we've turned on the battery. All I have to do is flick the switch and turn that on. And in theory, we have running water.
That's
Yeah, that
full
runs
on.
pretty fast. And then I'll turn that off. Boom.
That's high pressure.
That's really high pressure. Yeah, let me just... That's way higher pressure than what I thought it would be. Look at that.
Yeah, the tap.
That is splashing.
Oh man.
However,
With exposed wires underneath.
it works. Oh, there's dripping.
And there's leaks.
It's not working.
It's not working.
There's a leak. I'm not swearing at anyone.
You are though. Your fingers are swearing.
Oh. No, they're just support fingers.
That's what they all say.
Snack time.
No, I've got egg everywhere.
Kind of looks like a big anteater or something, like some kind of vacuum suction thing. However, it works. It's functional. It's not beautiful, but it works. So the van is looking fancy. We have beautiful strip lights. And now all I have to do is cut this bed up. So I'm actually doing it in situ because I know it's going to fit if I put it in where it's going to be. This is pretty annoying. Fantastic Furniture have given us two different types of foam. So we have one that is lower density that I've already cut up, and that's actually not the one we wanted. We wanted this higher density foam. So it looks like someone's sleeping on soft foam and someone's sleeping on firm foam. It's the way it is.
We are on our bed, and right now, just enjoying the mood lighting and the foam, which will be covered soon.
Hopefully tonight.
Hopefully tonight we get sewing.
But I'm tired.
Tomorrow.
So I think when it comes to making stuff, half of it is just confidence. Truth is, I haven't done much sewing before, but I'm gonna figure this out. My mum has an old sewing machine. I've managed to convince her to let me use it. So we're gonna have some calico covers on our cushions. And so our journey comes to an end, but the real journey is about to begin. There's a whole world out there waiting to be explored, and a camper van is the perfect way to do it. So why not start today? The road is calling and the open sky is waiting. Happy travels, friends, and until next time, happy camping.